Assalamu alaikum students. Today our topic is Phycomycetes. In the previous lecture we studied the general characters of fungi, different types of reproduction in fungi and classification of fungi. और हमने जाना कि there are different classes of fungi which include Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteriomycetes. अब हम इनको अलग अलग से पढ़ेंगे. So today our topic is Phycomycetes और मैं आपको बताता चलूँ कि जो भी मैं आपको पढ़ाऊंगा इट इज एनसीईआरटी बेस्ड. एनसीईआरटी जो टेक्स्ट बुक है आपके पास उसके अलावा मैं आपको नहीं पढ़ा रहा हूँ. जो एग्जाम्पल्स उसमें इंक्लूड किए गए हैं और जो इन्फॉर्मेशन एनसीईआरटी में इंक्लूड की गई है, सो आई एम फोकसिंग ओनली ऑन दैट. तो उसी में से आपको क्वेश्चंस भी पूछेंगे वेदर इट इज योर 11th क्लास 12th क्लास और नीट. तो एनसीईआरटी के बाहर ये नहीं पूछते हैं. तो फर्स्ट वी लुक एट द habitat of Phycomycetes. Habitat is the living place. कैसे रहते हैं और कहाँ पे रहते हैं. So these Phycomycetes जो है they can live in aquatic habitats. Aquatic habitats में भी ये रह सकते हैं. They can live on decaying wood. They can grow on decaying wood. लेकिन decaying wood which is at moist places. And second, another point is there can also be obligate parasites on plants. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो मैंने examples include किए हैं. यहाँ in case of aquatic habitats we have Saprolegnia. Saprolegnia जो है it grows as parasite on fish. तो ये पानी में रहता है और उसके बाद it is parasite on fish. Then you have Mucor. It lives on moist decaying wood. And then you have obligate parasites, for example albigo. It is parasite in case of crucifer or in case of mustard. Mustard में ये disease करता है which is known as the white rust disease. तो यहाँ पे जो spots आपको दिख रहे हैं these are caused by albigo. और यहाँ पे जो एक cotton like growth जो है it's mucor. और यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो gills के आसपास Saprolegnia जो है वो grow हुआ है fish में. So they can be जो इनके habit based on their habitat you can see they can be saprotrophs as in case of mucor. They can be parasitic on plants, for example albigo, or they can be aquatic and parasitic on animals, for example Saprolegnia. Now we move to another slide. Now looking at the thallus structure, इसकी body structure जो है वो आपको देखना पड़ेगा. लेकिन इससे पहले वन मोर पॉइंट जो कि आपको मैं दिखा रहा हूँ. दिस एक्वेटिक हैबिटेट जो है जो मैंने आपको अभी बोला दैट दीज फाइकोमाइसीट्स दे कैन बी एक्वेटिक. यहाँ पे आपको एक पॉइंट याद रखना है दैट अमंग फंगी ओनली फाइकोमाइसीट्स कैन हैव एक्वेटिक हैबिटेट्स. दे कैन ओनली फाइकोमाइसीट्स कैन लिव इन एक्वेटिक हैबिटेट्स. तो ये क्वेश्चन कभी भी पूछा जा सकता है विच क्लास ऑफ फंगी include species which live in water. तो आप उसको लिख सकते हो that Phycomycetes is the class of fungi which includes fungal species that are aquatic. तो ये सिर्फ Phycomycetes में ही पाया जाता है. Now moving to the thallus structure. Now this is the thallus structure. तो इसमें आपको important चीजें याद रखनी पड़ेगी. दो important चीजें. First is the thallus in case of Phycomycetes is aseptate. It is aseptate. There are no septa. You will not find any septa here. You will not find any septa. So the nuclei they are present in the same protoplasm. So it is aseptate and cenocytic. Aseptate means that there are no partitions between the cells. तो cells के दरमियान जो है partitions नहीं है. And this is again found only in case of Phycomycetes. तो Phycomycetes में जो thallus है जो mycelium है it is aseptate. There are no septa and it is cenocytic. All the nuclei they are present in the same protoplasm. Although they can be uniformly distributed throughout the mycelium, but they are present in the same cytoplasm which is known as cenocytic. This characteristic feature is also specific to Phycomycetes. और अगर आप देखोगे बाकी जो फंगी के बाकी जो क्लास हैं उनमें आपको एसेप्टेट या सिनोसिटिक माइसीलियम नहीं मिलेगा. So this is about the thallus structure. So thales in case of these Phycomycetes is aseptate and cynocytic. Now moving to reproduction, we have again vegetative reproduction, then we have asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Three types of reproduction are found in case of Phycomycetes. Now we'll see one by one. First we'll go to vegetative reproduction in case of Phycomycetes. Now vegetative reproduction जो है मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला in case of fungi. This is general in case of fungi. Fungi में हमने देखा that vegetative reproduction can take place through three methods. First one is fission. Second one is the budding. And third one is the fragmentation. ये तीन methods है ऐसे through which vegetative reproduction can take place in case of fungi. I am talking of general fungi. But this fission and budding, it takes place in case of yeast. And yeast is the unicellular fungus. It is unicellular. तो ये yeast में ही होता है fission और budding. लेकिन यहाँ पे जब हम बात करते हैं Phycomycetes की, then in case of Phycomycetes, you do not have unicellular fungus. आप इसमें yeast इसमें include नहीं होता है. Yeast is not included in case in Phycomycetes. It belongs to another class of fungi. So these two, whether it is fission or budding, it cannot take place in Phycomycetes. तो Phycomycetes में ना तो fission होगा ना budding होगा क्योंकि ये yeast में होता है and it occurs in unicellular fungi और वो yeast है तो yeast is not included in Phycomycetes. जब ये Phycomycetes में include नहीं होता है then the fission and budding it cannot take place in Phycomycetes. So एक ही रह जाता है, that's fragmentation. So vegetative reproduction in case of Phycomycetes is through fragmentation only. Fission and budding is not possible in case of Phycomycetes. It can only take place in unicellular fungus, which is not in Phycomycetes में ऐसे fungus नहीं है. तो इनमें सिर्फ fragmentation हो सकती है और fragmentation जैसे मैंने पिछले क्लास में आपको पढ़ाया, you have the mycelium, which is the network of hyphae. और ये mycelium जो है इसमें जो different hyphae हैं, they break down into different fragments. Different fragments में जब ये break हो जाते हैं, then each fragment can give rise to a separate mycelium. Each fragment can give rise to a separate mycelium. So you have a mycelium. This mycelium breaks by different means. It can break accidentally. It can be fragmentation can also occur due to death and decay of some cells in the mycelium, and then you have different fragments. This one fragment, this another fragment, and this another fragment, and each fragment will give rise to the full-fledged fungus again. So, in case of these Phycomycetes, the vegetative reproduction is possible only via fragmentation. So, there is no fission, there is no budding. So, this is the vegetative reproduction in case of Phycomycetes. Now, we'll move to the asexual reproduction in Phycomycetes. Asexual reproduction in Phycomycetes. Now, यहाँ पे आपको दो points याद रखने होंगे. First is asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores, which are motile, or by aplanospores, which are non-motile. तो पहले ही मैंने आपको बोला when I say zoospores, it means motile. That means we have a spore, it has flagella, and it can swim through water, or it can move through some moist surface, via some moist surface. तो जब हम aplanospores की बात करते हैं, then they are non-motile spores. They do not have flagella. तो इसमें जब asexual reproduction की बात करते हैं, या तो हमें flagellated spores, zoospores बनते हैं, या non-flagellated spores बनते हैं. और zoospores सिर्फ Phycomycetes में बनते हैं, because ये ऐसा क्लास है फंगस का Phycomycetes which contains species of fungus that can live in water. जब वो water में grow करेंगे, then they need these zoospores, which can move through the water. तो अब हम कैसे होता है इनमें ये reproduction, यहाँ पे मैंने example include किया है, लेकिन मैं आपको यहाँ पे दिखाऊंगा. First you have a mycelium. This is mycelium. Mycelium, as you all know, is the network of the hyphae. It grows on any substrate. Let's say it grows on any decaying substrate, decaying food or wood or any other substance. So this is the mycelium. And this mycelium is haploid. Then under favorable conditions, it produces this is mycelium again. It produces the fruiting body, and it develops a sac-like structure which is known as sporangia. This is again haploid, and inside this spores are produced. These spores are produced by cell division, by mitosis, because the thallus is already haploid. So when these spores are produced, then these spores, they are released from the sporangia से release हो जाते हैं, and each spore, it germinates under favorable conditions, giving rise to the mycelium again. So you have mycelium under favorable conditions, it forms the fruiting body, and this fruiting body develops the sporangia. This sporangia produce spores by mitosis, and so ये because thallus is already haploid, only mitosis is possible. और mitosis से जो spores बने, they are again haploid, और haploid spores germinate हो गए, they germinate and form the mycelium again. So this is the kind of asexual reproduction in case of Phycomycetes. अब ये spore जो है, ये spore जो इसमें बने, these spores can be motile. They can be motile. Then they are known as zoospores. So zoospores are motile spores, and they are only possible in case of Phycomycetes. And they can also be aplanospores. If they are non-motile, then they will be aplanospores. Then they are produced inside the sporangia. Then so they are endogenously produced. This question is frequently asked in different entrance exams, that the spores, zoospores and aplanospores produced in case of Phycomycetes are produced by endogenously or exogenously. तो आप लिखोगे they are produced endogenously. वो अंदर प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, किसके अंदर? स्पोरेंजिया के अंदर. यहाँ पे भी मैंने एक एग्जांपल, ये एग्जांपल है सेम जो यहाँ पे मैंने दिखाया है. दिस इज द माइसीलियम, और इस पे ये बन जाता है फ्रूटिंग बॉडी, देन इट फॉर्म द सैक लाइक स्ट्रक्चर. उसके बाद दूसरा स्टेज आ जाता है दैट दिस मियोसिस, माइटोसिस से यहाँ पे स्पोर्स प्रोड्यूस हो जाते हैं. दे आर हैप्लॉइड बिकॉज थैलस इज हैप्लॉइड, स्पोर्स आर हैप्लॉइड, and then this sporangia it bursts releasing the spores. और spores जो जब दूसरी जगह उनको suitable environment में मिल जाते हैं, they establish at other places and then they lead to the formation of the full mycelium. So this is asexual reproduction in case of Phycomycetes. Now we move to sexual reproduction. यहाँ पे आपको दो points asexual reproduction में याद रखने हैं. First is that in case of Phycomycetes, zoospores are produced. Zoospores सिर्फ Phycomycetes में आपको मिलेंगे. So asexual reproduction is by formation of zoospores and aplanospores, and both these spores, they are produced endogenously. They are produced inside something. What? Inside what? Inside the sporangia. So this is the asexual reproduction in case of fungi. Now we have sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction जब मैंने fungi में आपको पढ़ाया, then I told you that there are 3 stages of sexual reproduction in case of fungi. Fungi जो है generally, fungi में I'm not talking of Phycomycetes only, I'm talking of fungi. In case of fungi, you have 3 stages in sexual reproduction. First is plasmogamy, जो मैंने पहले पढ़ाया है आपको. Second is karyogamy, and third is meiosis. These are the 3 stages of sexual reproduction in case of fungi generally. लेकिन इसमें क्या होता है, यू हैव टू माइसीलियम, दिस इज वन माइसीलियम, दिस इज अनदर माइसीलियम, ओके, दिस इज माइसीलियम, this is haploid, this is another mycelium, it is again haploid. Okay. Now in case of algae, we found that there are three types of reproduction. First is known as isogams. I'm talking of algae. In case of algae, we found that there are three types of reproduction. Isogams, when both gametes they are similar. Then we have anisogams. So the two gametes are dissimilar. One is large, another is small. See? And third one, which is the advanced one, is known as oogams type. Oogams type. Oogams type. In this case, you have the male is flagellated and small, and the female gamete is large, flask-shaped and non-motile. So we have isogams where both the gametes they are similar. Anisogams, one gamete is large and another is small. Oogams, why we have the motile male gamete and non-motile and large female gamete. Now, all these three types are possible in case of Phycomycetes. So you have two mycelium here. This produces the gamete, and I will show here similar. Let's say this isogams type. So you have two gametes, M and N. Again, they are haploid. Now they fuse together, they fertilize and form a structure here. This fusion leads to the formation of the zygote, which is 2M. Zygote is 2M. Now here, this stage, it is known as plasmogamy. Plasmogamy and karyogamy. So two stages take place here. First, you have the fusion of the protoplasm, which is plasmogamy, and immediately after the plasmogamy, you have the karyogamy in case of Phycomycetes. In case of other fungi, you have first two gametes, they fuse together, they form a structure which is known as dikaryon. In case of other fungi, you have a formation of dikaryon. So you have plasmogamy. During plasmogamy, the protoplasm fuses, and then you have the formation of a dikaryon. So you have two nuclei. And after this, you have the fusion of these two nuclei, that's known as karyogamy. But in case of Phycomycetes, we are talking about Phycomycetes. In case of Phycomycetes, you have karyogamy immediately after plasmogamy. So there is no dikaryon. यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगा no dikaryon is formed. No dikaryon is formed, or there is no dikaryotic phase. तो ये आप देखोगे in case of Phycomycetes there is no dikaryon. There is no dikaryotic phase. ये भी एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है. Now you have first step plasmogamy, second step karyogamy जो कि हो गया है. Then this zygote, it forms a thick wall. First, a zygote was formed, it is 2M. Now it forms a thick wall. When it forms the thick wall, it is known as zygospore. So you can easily say that a zygospore is a zygote with a thick wall. उसके बाद क्या होता है? Then there is the third step. Third step is meiosis. इस zygospore के अंदर meiosis हो जाता है, and it produces number of spores. Each spore, then there is meiosis. Meiosis will lead to the formation of 4 cells from one zygospore. तो 4 बनेंगे. They will be haploid. और उसके बाद this structure ये burst हो जाता है under favorable conditions. And these haploid spores जो कि meiosis के through बने, they will be released and they will form the mycelium again. तो यहाँ पे आपको देखना है, first you have two mycelium, they can be a plus strand and minus strand, same species but different strands, both produce similar gametes, then they fuse together, that when they fuse, both plasmogamy and karyogamy, they take place simultaneously, immediately. So you have fusion of the protoplasm and immediately it is followed by the fusion of the nucleus. So no dikaryon is formed, which is seen in case of other fungi. So कभी कभी आपको ये भी पूछा जाता है, name the fungi, name the class of fungi in which the dikaryotic phase is absent or dikaryon is not formed. So you can write Phycomycetes. Now you have a structure zygote here which is 2N, and it forms a thick wall around it. This thick wall, this structure, a zygote with a thick wall, is known as zygospore. It is diploid in structure, and then it undergoes meiosis and forms different spores which are haploid. These spores then are released under favorable conditions, and they lead to the formation of mycelium again. They germinate. These spores, they can germinate, and then they can lead to the formation of the mycelium again. This is how sexual reproduction takes place in case of fungi. Now we move to another topic. तो कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं जो कि आपको याद रखने हैं फाइकोमाइसीट्स में, जो कि एग्जाम में पूछे जाएंगे आपसे, तो उनको मैं समराइज करके आपको दिखाऊंगा. नाउ एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ फाइकोमाइसीट्स, जो कि आपकी एनसीईआरटी की जो बुक है 11th क्लास की, उसमें आप देखोगे. यू हैव वन एग्जाम्पल इज म्यूकर, अनदर एग्जाम्पल इज राइजोप्स, another example is albugo. ये जो ऊपर वाली इमेज मैंने दिखाई है, these are the microscopic images. अगर आप माइक्रोस्कोप में देखोगे then म्यूकर आपको ऐसा दिखेगा, राइजोप जिसको कि ब्रेड मोल्ड बोलते हैं आपको ऐसा दिखेगा, और एल्बिगो जो है it will look like this. लेकिन अगर आप ये किसी सबस्ट्रेट पे ग्रो होते हुए देखोगे then you will see this म्यूकर, it will be like this. It will be just like a cottony growth on any substance. Then अगर आपको ब्रेड मोल्ड देखना है तो आप ब्रेड देखोगे, या ब्रेड कहीं पे भी पड़ी होगी, you will see these blue spots on the bread. This is the rhizomes. और अगर आपको एल्बिगो देखना है then you have to go to the mustard field, और वहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि white color rust like structures, the white rust is formed on these mustard plants. तो ये एग्जाम्पल जो है ये आपकी एनसीईआरटी बुक में दिए गए हैं. नाउ आपको इसमें से कौन से पॉइंट्स जो है वो आपको याद रखने हैं जो कि एग्जाम में पूछे जाते हैं. सो फाइकोमाइसीट्स इज द ओनली क्लास जिसमें कि एक्वेटिक फंगल स्पीशीज पाई जाती है. फर्स्ट, सो फाइकोमाइसीट्स इज द ओनली क्लास ऑफ फंगस विथ एक्वेटिक फंगल स्पीशीज. ये पॉइंट आपको जरूरी याद रखना है. इनमें एसेप्टेट एंड सिनोस्टिक थैलस हैं जो कि आप बाकी फंगस में नहीं देखोगे. Third, reproduction takes place both by all the three pathways: sexual, asexual, and vegetative. But vegetative reproduction takes only place by fragmentation. There is no budding or binary fission. So no budding or binary fission. Both asexual and sexual spores are produced endogenously. They are produced inside a structure. The asexual spores are produced inside the sporangia, and the sexual spores they are produced inside the zygospore. Then यहाँ पे फिर से मैंने लिखा है vegetative reproduction can take place only by fragmentation. There is no fission or budding. Thank you very much for being with me.